let's talk about the Regional Training Center. I think we've got a couple of photos here to pop up, Tim. Tell us just kind of that overall mission statement, what the Regional Training Center is doing out there.
So the Regional Training Center was started, nothing to do with drones. Was started by a gentleman named Chris Bouse from, he worked at LAPD, and he wanted to provide affordable, high quality training to law enforcement by other law enforcement officers. So it was started as a nonprofit with the desire to provide just the most affordable training, for other fellow officers that can't get that training anywhere else.
Right.
Drones started about 20, right when it started to explode, they offered their first drone class, which was probably about 2017. The unique aspect of how we teach is the instructors we employ. So every single one of our instructors are practitioners out there in the field. They're out there either managing or participating in UAS programs throughout the country. We have instructors from back east all the way to California, where we're based. So our instructors are out there doing it every day. They bring new, exciting things to the classes. We're constantly evaluating what we teach, how we teach it, what platforms we teach on, because as you know, the industry changes so much. So, we develop our courses based on needs, current events. We're adding courses based on where public safety is going. DFR, we added a DFR course, and crime scene investigation and counter drone courses, where crowd management, which is, after we all had to deal with mass amounts of protests, we learned a lot of lessons in how to deal with large crowds and using drones in those environments. So that's kind of the basic overview of the training center. Is the training center allows us to bring high quality training to law enforcement, fire, public safety all over the country. We're adding and getting into the private security industry, because that is a market that's growing pretty quick, and the demand is high for that. All of our training is certified through the state of California through the Police Officers Commission.
Yeah, that's significant, but I want to back up. You used an acronym. Now, I know most people out there that are watching this show probably know what it is, but for the handful that don't, DFR is Drone as First Responder, and that is a term that was coined by the Chula Vista PD. By the way, Miriam Fox, Captain Fox from Chula Vista, was on this show last week. So if you guys missed that, go back and watch that spectacular show. They've been working very closely with the FAA in the integration pilot program and now beyond. And of course, Miriam gave a huge shout out to your center, Tim, because I believe she was trained there, and a number of her officers go through your course. So let's walk it back for a second. Obviously, you reflect the times in your course. You add new content and materials as new, let's call it, use cases kind of pop up, if you will. But you also have like basic Part 107 type training too, right? To give people that initial knowledge and experience, and then the ability to pass their Part 107 and obtain that certification.
Yeah, that's correct. And we have a 5-day program ops course, where if you're a brand new department like Chula Vista was, they came to us wanting, before they even came up with the concept of DFR, they wanted to start a drone program. So they were one of the early adopters, regardless of DFR, just to use drones as law enforcement.
Yes.
We provided them with their first training, along with a bunch of other agencies that are now just, they make us proud, because these agencies are going out there and they're killing it in the drone, in the public safety drone world, pioneers, and they're doing great stuff. But yeah, so we'll have that 5-day class to start your program. How do you write policy? Do you go with a COER 107, pilot selection, pilot training, aircraft selection, how to navigate the public scrutiny, the city councils, the chief of police, how do you do funding? So that's all the basic 5-day. And then once programs are established, then we offer a 3-day Part 107 basic pilots course, where we focus on aircraft flight and safety, and just so they can go back to their agencies with a basic knowledge and then go forward with their agency training.
Well, I love that you include, you know, let's just call it governance. It's almost like ESG, right? Environment, social aspects, and governance in your program, because all of those things are so critical, especially when you think about public acceptance. You know, when you think about public safety, you guys are the most visible out there to the public. You know, there might be really cool stuff going on, some like long line linear inspection on some pipeline. But you know what? Joe Q public doesn't know about that. What they know is when they see, you know, at the time, you know, Captain Martin out there flying his drone or whatever. So I think that's really critical. I love what you guys are doing. And Dave, I want to pivot over to you because I know there's a synergy between the Regional Training Center of Velatus and future collaborations kind of on the horizon here. You're involved in it with another group, the RTR, the Rapid Tactical. Tell me what that is. It's an acronym.
So it's a Rapid Tactical Response. It's
Okay.
a company there in Fullerton, California. We've teamed up with them because they have a nice warehouse with a full shot house inside it. So we worked hand in hand with them, going off some of the tactical situations I've flown in, and helped them develop a real world tactical situation in a warehouse where we can have our pilots come in. We do a full 2 to 3 day class with students from public safety first responders, teaching them how to properly clear or search a house, how to look for suspects, how to look for because one of the things that I've had an issue at the beginning is finding evidence and flying over that evidence and totally destroying the scene. Yes, that's not a real priority to kind of do that.
Wait a minute. Back up, back up. I'm an attorney. So tell me, I need to understand this. How do you fly over evidence and destroy it? Like, what? Give me an
So,
example of what you're talking about.
so casings and all that from them shooting in the houses and all. You know how important it is to keep the casings where they are and all
Oh,
that.
so if the downwash will like move
Yeah.
things?
Oh yeah.
Oh my, I never would have thought of that. But I guess you guys didn't either and learned the hard way.
Yeah, but the one thing that we need to take into account is evidence is going to be blown around, but we're there to look for a suspect. That's our number one priority is to get that scene safe and
Yeah,
de-escalate the situation.
yeah.
So that's kind of in the back of our mind, but we kind of teach them how to go around and how to raise, not raise up, because if you hit the stick and raise up too fast, that blade wash is really powerful and it's going to blow everything. So stick movements and all that kind of stuff, we teach them that. The one big thing that we're really getting into is teaching pilots that you're not clearing a house, you're searching a house. There's two different ways to do it. Clearing is where you're actually going under beds, opening up closets, and making sure there's no one there. With the
Okay.
drone, most of the closets and all we can't go into because they have draperies and they have clothing all, so we can't really get the drone in there because it'll suck it right into the blade.
Yeah.
So we teach them you're searching, you're not clearing. Um, so that's one of the distinctions that we teach in the class. And we built an attic. We built different rooms. We have a like a hoarder room because everybody can tell you when we go into a house or something flying around looking for somebody, it's not going to be the same. There's a lot of messy areas around that you have to take into consideration. And you know, you've been here in Vegas. Pretty much every house has ceiling fans or something hanging from the roof.
Yeah, that's a good
Um,
point. Yep. Yep.
so you got to take that into account. So your environment's very important. Where you're going to enter the structure is very important. So we've made it to where most of the time we have robots here blocking the doorways, so our suspect can't just run out
Yeah.
from the residence or the structure. So we teach them how to get around the robot where we don't have to move the robot, fly over it, take into account the antennas, the cameras, systems, and all that, so we don't interfere with that.
Yeah.
So that's how we integrate and partner with them. They've been great. Um, They've done every suggestion that we have to the shot house, so it provides a real world situation for our pilots to fly in.